but the pace very high now as Pooley turns her attention to riding to make sure that the team in black are the team who stand on #1 in the podium.
Well, they stand a good chance of, you know, 2 medals here, you know, at least. You know, they could take all 3, but I think Nicole Cooke going to be very difficult to beat today. She's sitting in 2nd place. Emma Pooley just leading out at the moment. Doesn't look as if it's going to come in for a sprint. Looking at the service cars behind, there's no neutral service, so I think this gap is still within 30 seconds. So there's still an opportunity for Trott, Colclough and Creswick to come back, but not now, because Emma Pooley's on the front and she's going to be leading out into Barley for a sprint finish here in the Women's National Championship.
Well, look at this as Emma Pooley now desperately tries to take Lizzie Armitstead and Sharon Laws to the finish. I don't think she's going to give it a good old go because she knows that Armitstead has a very fast sprint. Here we go. This is the chaser, and this is Katie Colclough, number 11 for 100% Me in the red and white colours. It's great to see her back on form after she was in that accident when they got hit by a car. So great to see her in this race even. Pooley now on the front, Cooke in 2nd place, Armitstead in 3rd, Sharon Laws in 4th. They go up over this little riser, twists and turns of this course. And when you think about Emma Pooley, 2nd in 2008, 3rd in 2009, an Olympic silver medalist, and without doubt is the top rider in the world this year. They're not too far from the finish, and now they will be going through in their heads, how do I win this British title?
Well, Colclough, I think, leaving a wee bit too late to try and come across, because Emma Pooley stretching them out at the front. She knows she's got other 2 teammates here. Just watch number 2, the girl just taking a drink at the moment, sitting in 3rd place on the perfect wheel, and that's Nicole Cooke's. So Emma Pooley, Nicole Cooke just throws the bottom. She doesn't need any extra weight. We're getting within sight of the finish now. Emma Pooley in the front, leading out. Number 1 on her back is Nicole Cooke, going to be finishing off 10 in a row.
Here we go now. We're heading towards the finish, and the first move starts to happen as the rider from the back goes on the attack now, and that's Sharon Laws. Armitstead immediately onto the wheel of Nicole Cooke. Emma Pooley isn't going to get on the podium by the looks of things, as Nicole Cooke looks across at Lizzie Armitstead, and they are going to sandwich her out. Here goes Emma Pooley on the right-hand side as she goes back to the front. Cooke just biding her time, waiting to see what moves the Cervelo test team make as Pooley goes to the front yet again. Armitstead is still there. Last year she was the under-23 champion, and we are now heading close to the finish as Cooke goes on the left-hand side, and she gets tracked immediately by Lizzie Armitstead.
Well, perfect move there by Lizzie Armitstead, just tracking Nicole Cooke the whole time. She knows it's going to come down to a sprint, and that small effort there by Nicole Cooke says to me that she's not overly confident of winning this sprint. She knows how fast Armitstead is. Emma Pooley comes straight to the front again, leads it out. This is going to be a close finish in here.
Well, there we are, there's the replay as Pooley went to the front. Cooke looked round and said, it's not up to me to do the work here because I'm the rider who is being outnumbered by all of you. That's them going through the feeding area as Pooley looks around yet again. They will be talking to each other. I said to them last night, do you have a race plan? Do you have something sorted out? Lizzie Armitstead said, no, haven't got anything. Now Emma Pooley decides to go as they head towards the finish, and the 2 Cervelo riders are not going to do any work at all with Nicole Cooke, who is desperately now trying to come back up to the wheel. Emma Pooley's riding away. This is perfect teamwork. Well, who would have expected her to go on the run into the finish? And Armitstead knows that if no one goes through, then Armitstead will sprint off the wheel of Nicole Cooke. Look at this. Here we go. Emma Pooley has flown from the group, and now the Cervelo riders look around and say, it's up to you, Nicole. We're not going to do anything. Our teammates up the road, and Armitstead freewheels. Well, we were talking about the fact that Emma Pooley had not used the strength on the climbs to win the national championship, but she attacks at the absolute perfect moment. Look at this. The rider who we would expected to attack on their heels is going to ride to the finish, and I tell you, this is going to be an emotional one. Emma Pooley wins the national championship, and she's almost in tears. She's pretty exhausted. She cannot believe that, and I don't know if I can either. Armitstead takes second, Cooke I think took third, and Sharon Laws took fourth. Well, there you go. Outwit them by using a tactic you weren't expecting.
They did wear Nicole Cooke out there. We did think that you know, the best chance for Emma Pooley to win was to go on the climb. Unfortunately, you know, for as we see the winner there, totally happy. Unfortunately for Nicole Cooke, she was just outdone in the last kilometre there.
Well, they're just congratulating each other. It was a shorter race, 4 laps. We were talking about weather. The fact that the race was shortened would play into the hands of Nicole Cooke and out of the hands of Emma Pooley, but she's got the win that she has desperately wanted. Second in 2008, third in 2009, but now Emma Pooley is the champion. Here we go back to the rider who has been chasing them, Katie Colclough, 5th in 2009, 2nd in the under-23 title also last year, and she's going to ride into the finish now in 5th place.
Well, still a great performance there by Katie Colclough. It's going to be a silver medal in under-23 result for her, and you know, a 5th place on the day, so a great result, showing her strength and keeping it going all the way to the line here.
There she goes in that kit, which is worn by the Olympic Academy. They're based over in Belgium. They are looked after over there and guided all the time. But perfect team tactics. We talk about cycling as a team sport, and that was a perfect indication of what team riding is all about. If you have the strength in numbers, you can outdo a national champion. Well, let's hear from Graham, who's down with the champion.
Emma finally dethroned the champion, Nicole. How do you feel?
I'm just really surprised, actually, because I thought that if I couldn't get away on one of the climbs, then there was no way I could win it. You know, I was sure by the final lap I knew I couldn't drop Nicole on the hills. She's really strong at the moment, and so I thought it would come down to a small group and a sprint, and for me, I mean, without being defeatist, that's not my strength. So I was pretty much resigned to coming last from that group, and but I think that actually it played to my advantage because everyone knows I'm crap at sprinting. So they weren't looking at me, and I suddenly had a gap, and I was like, right, well, I'm not waiting there. So yeah, I'm pretty surprised.
When the race was shortened, did you think that was probably your best chance gone?
Yeah, because I mean, it's a really tough circuit, but it's only tough if you do it enough times. You know, 1 lap is not, it's a hard, hilly circuit, but yeah, and I mean, the reduction from 8 to 4 is just, to be honest, I mean, I have all the sympathy for the organiser, because it's very hard to get an ambulance onto that narrow course, and I'm really sorry for the girls who crashed, but I just wish they'd thought about it in advance a bit, because, you know, cutting our race down to half the length, it really changes how it is, and I ate so much pasta last night, and I've only burned off half of it.
Well, a rider who can barely control her excitement. Emma Pooley, a champion of the road race. She is the first rider to wear the national champions jersey since Cerys Gilfillan, because Nicole Cooke has won that title for 9 years in a row. But here in Barley and Pendle, a great setting for a national championship. And we're going to enjoy, I'm sure, the podium presentations very shortly indeed, when Emma Pooley will be presented with that all-important red, white and blue jersey that, of course, she will be able to wear for the rest of the year. Look at that. There she is, riding across the line, and a very emotional rider indeed. Here is the top 10. Jo Rousel, one of our world track champions, there in 10th place. Sarah Story in 9th. A great performance from Creswick there in 7th. But Pooley's a champion with Armitstead in silver and Cooke in 3rd place.